Hello, dear students. Welcome you all to the 31st lecture of macroeconomics. And today we will discuss what are the determinants of saving. So, in previous lectures, we have learned that saving rate is the measurement of amount of money expressed as a percentage, or it is a ratio that a person deducts from their disposable personal income to set aside as a nest egg for retirement. Okay, so whatever is left after the consumption, we told that it is your saving. So in economic terms, saving is a choice to forego some current consumption in favor of increased future consumption. So the saving rates reflects a person or a group's rate of time preferences. The saving rate is also related to marginal propensity to save. Okay, so the saving could be done in the form of cash accumulation, or you can go for bank deposits, or it can be put into investments depending on various factors such as expected time is left in retirement. Okay, and a personal individual's retirement account also, and stocks, bonds, mutual funds. So today we will discuss what are the various determinants of saving. Okay, so under these few topics we will discuss: interest rate, rising income, economic growth, age of individuals, culture, trend, wealth, and inflation. So let's first of all discuss interest rate and how it affects the savings. So obviously, if you are getting higher interest rates on your savings, you will save more. Okay, if banks are giving higher rate of interest on your saving, or the returns are high, so automatically individuals will be more prone towards the savings. Second, a rising in income. So in when we were discussing the marginal propensity to consumption graph, that time also we discussed this thing. As income increases, your consumption increase, but not with the same proportion. After a certain points, your consumption will be almost fixed. It will not increase with the same rate as income is increasing, but from that point onwards, your savings will start increasing. So as your income will increase, your savings will also increase. People whose income is low, they cannot afford the luxury of saving, but the people who are earning quite well, their savings are also very high. Next, economic growth. So if a country's economy is growing very well, okay, high consumer confidence is there in economy, so they those people of that country, or the individuals of that economy, they will focus more on spending. Okay, if economy is going very good, positive environment is there, optimistic environment is there, so that time people will consume more and they will save less. Okay, so if economic growth is well, it will encourage higher spending and less saving. Third one is age of individuals. People who are into 40s and 50s, they tend to save for their retirements, but old people, they don't contribute in savings. So if a country's average population is young, it means they will save more. If it is getting older, population is getting older, the savings will be lesser. Next, very important factor, cultural trends. So few cultures are there where they believe in saving, like our Indian culture, we believe a lot in saving. So if some cultures have strong saving culture and others don't have, like Western countries, you see, they don't have saving cultures. So those countries having higher spending and borrowing, but the countries like India, we have a habit to do saving. So cultural trends are also, and they plays important role in saving determination. Next is wealth. So if the house prices are increasing, Okay, and the house wealth and diminishing the need to save in other forms. So if prices are increasing of households, so most of your savings will go to buy that property. So you will not invest or you will not save in other forms. Whatever money you have, you will save or you will invest in households. So that is also one thing. If the property prices are increasing, so other forms of saving will decrease. Next is inflation. So if the inflation is very high, it will discourage the cash savings, but people will purchase fixed assets, like they will invest in gold. Okay, they will invest in buildings. They will invest more on this retail estate. Okay, because many of value of money is decreasing, but gold and other things, they are considered as a safe investment, so they will invest there. So these are the factors which affects the saving of any country. I hope it is clear. Now next move to a very important topic, that is the saving is a virtue or a voice. Virtue or voice meaning it is good or bad, we are discussing here. Okay, so we will discuss this topic with two views. First, we will discuss the classical view, and then we will discuss the modern view given by Keynes. Okay, so classical economics regarded saving as a virtue. They believe that saving leads to good management of economy, and hence they encourage people to save more. So, to be very precise, classical economists regarded that aggregate investment was greatly influenced by aggregate saving, because if people start to save more, then it would increase national saving, increase national investment, which ultimately lead to rise in the income of the nation. So if savings are more, ultimately that investment will be more, and if investments are more, it will increase the national saving, and if national savings are more, then automatically then rise that income of a nations will rise. That is the view of classical economist, who says that saving is very good thing. But modern economists, they differ from their views, the classical views. So Keynes, the father of modern economics, believed that saving was voice and not a virtue. Although saving may be a virtue for an individual, but it is a voice for the public. Now, how it is like that, we will discuss. It is because the expenditure of a person becomes the income of other. When one person save, the income of other person decline. I will explain the logic behind this. So with this figure also, this one you can understand it. Okay, so when aggregate saving increases, aggregate consumption decreases, because maximum portion of your income you are saving, so the consumption will decrease, which cause a fall in effective demand in a economy. So if demand will not be there, if effective demand is decreasing, it will leads to overproduction in the market, and to maintain a balance, firms start producing less, because excess amount of products are there already in the market. So for what the firms will do, they will start producing low. So as a result, in reduced investment. Similarly, decrease in effective demand reduces the prices as well as the profit. It will discourage investment, and subsequently there will be a decline in employment, declining saving itself. Okay, so in this way, saving, which is beneficial at a personal level, because individuals, if they are doing savings, they will get certain kind of regular income as an interest. Okay, for personal level, it is, we can say, virtue, but for public level, it is a wise. Okay, so we can conclude it. Saving which is beneficial at a personal level actually becomes disadvantage at public and national level. This phenomena is referred as paradox of thrift. So this question may come as what is paradox of thrift? So you need to explain this thing only. I will write that thing here for you people so that you can note down. It is paradox of thrift. THRIFT. Okay, so another name of this concept is paradox of thrift. Once again, I am explaining for you. Classical economics says that saving is very good because if people are saving more, so aggregate saving will be increased. Okay, and if aggregate saving is increased, what will happen? The national saving will increase, and increasing national investment will ultimately reach to rise in income of the nation. But the modern economists were not agree with this concept. They said, Keynes said, for individual, for a single person, might be it is a virtue because individual is depositing his saving in bank, and on behalf of that he is getting regular income as interest. But this is very, very harmful for economy as a whole, because if everyone will start saving, expenditures will come down. If expenditures are coming down means aggregate demand will be lesser, and agreement demand is lesser means excess production will be excess products will be there in the market, so that producers will start making lesser product, so lesser investment will be there, lesser production will be there, and ultimately it will leads to lower level of employment, which is very risky. And this phenomena is also referred as paradox of thrift. I hope these topics are clear for you. If still you have any kind of confusion, you can ping me on WhatsApp. You already have my WhatsApp number. You can post me a message there. I will solve your query there. Thank you so much for watching the video.